Good afternoon, all. So, from today onwards, I'm going to handle C Sharp and .NET programming for you. Okay. I hope you all know your subject code. It is 8073 is the subject code, and paper title is C Sharp and .NET programming. So, the paper title is C Sharp and .NET programming. Subject code is CS8073. This is the basic thing that you should know. So whatever be the subject that you are learning in the BTech degree, first of all you should know what is the paper title and what is the subject code. Okay. Next, next immediate thing is you should know the objective of the particular subject. Okay. Why I am studying this one? What is objective? Okay. That is very important. So without knowing the objective, it's simply waste of time to learn a subject. That too, this one is a programming language. Okay. Already have studied Python, Java, uh, PLSQL. So these are all the programming languages you have studied earlier. And this one is a elective paper, and this is not a compulsory paper. But if you want to go for a software engineer, or if you want to become a software professional, you want to become a software engineer professional, you need either .NET or Java. Okay, learn these two things. You can choose which one is familiar and easy for you. That you can decide at the end of this course whether Java is better or C Sharp is better. So or still people will come. So far I admitted all the. Oh, people are waiting outside. Okay. So why we are studying C Sharp and .NET? What is the objective? So it's a disturbing that participants box. So to learn the basic programming in C Sharp and to understand the object-oriented programming concepts. Already have learned the object-oriented programming concepts in Java language. Okay, so no need to refresh the thing, right? Anyway, I'll just mention what are all the concepts, object-oriented concepts. First and foremost thing is data abstraction, then data encapsulation, then data hiding, inheritance, polymorphism. Then next one is message parsing. These are all the concepts of object-oriented programming. There also you learned the fundamentals of object-oriented language or simply the programming language, right? So whenever you are learning a programming language, you have studied C language also. So I forget to tell that Python, C, Java. Okay. So you know the fundamentals of the programming language. That is, first thing is tokens. What do you mean by a token? Then what do you mean by a token? Token is nothing but a piece of a program. Okay. So token may be a operator, or it may be a identifier, or it may be a literal, or it may be the name given to the method, and so on. Okay. So everything is a token. Operator, punctuation symbols, literals, identifiers, then anything else is there. Okay. These are all the uh, tokens available. Then you have studied about data types, right? Integer, character, float, double. Then you have studied about literals, integer literal, character literal, float literal, string literal. Then after that you have studied about operators. Operators, that is arithmetic operator, relational operator, logical operators, bitwise operators, then special operators for that specific programming language. So after that, you might have studied the control statements, right? Control statements includes decision making statements and looping statements. In decision making, you have studied about if statement, then switch case. Whereas in the looping statement, you might have studied for, while, and do while statements. Then after that, you might have studied arrays, that is a single dimensional array and multi-dimensional array. Then you might have studied about the functions. So these are all the things, or these are all the things that you should know when you are learning a programming language. Already you have studied these things in Python, C, uh, Java. Now you are learning one more programming language, that is C sharp. Again, those things are all here. Okay, I don't want to repeat it. It will be waste of time because there are unique features. Okay, uh, unique features are there in C sharp. So we are going to learn only those things that are specific to C sharp only. Maybe in the one or two classes, we may, just to familiarize the things, I may give lecture on the basic things what you have studied so far. But once we are flexible with the programming language, we'll straight away get into the unique features of C sharp language. Okay, title itself, you can see paper title is C sharp and .NET programming. Okay, C sharp and .NET programming. So what will be their expectation? Suppose if the question is asked, right, in the university exam, What type of question you can expect? Whether they will ask theory? No. Definitely they will ask only programs. Okay. Because title itself tells it is a programming paper. So you can expect only program in this paper and not the theory part. If you are getting theory part, it's your luck. But you'll get programs only. Then let's start with the objectives. So why we are learning this C Sharp is to learn basic programming in C Sharp and object-oriented programming concepts, to understand and enhance the skills in writing Windows application, ADO.NET and ASP.NET. Okay. In C Sharp, we can create different types of application. One is console application. Console application is the application that you came across in C language, right? That is a standalone application. So you'll be giving the input in the console area, that is in the black color screen, right? There you'll be giving the input and you'll see the output there. Then second type of application is window application. So we have seen Windows application also in DBMS lab, right? Uh, we have connected Visual Basic with Oracle database. Okay, creating such application is called as window application. This is an example for Windows application. By using the controls available in the toolbox, we can design the applications like calculator. Then we can design some form, or we can create database applications like payroll generation, then airline reservation, and so on. Okay. The next is ADO.NET. ADO.NET provides a way to connect your C Sharp with a database. Okay. Using ADO.NET, we can connect with any database. It may be Oracle, it may be Excel, or it may be MS Access, or it may be a SQL Server, it may be DB2. Okay, we can connect with any database by using ADO.NET. ADO.NET is an interface between the database and the .NET language. .NET language in the sense C Sharp, or it may be VB.NET. In VB.NET also we are having ADO.NET. Okay. Then ASP.NET. It is mainly used to create web applications. We can create web application and web services using ASP.NET. So we can create different types of application. C Sharp or in .NET. In .NET programming, we can create different types of application. Applications are console application, window application, then web application. Okay, these are the different types of application: console, window, and web application. So next is we will study some advanced concepts in data connectivity. Apart from that ADO.NET, what are the other features available for database connectivity that we are going to see? Along with this, we'll see about WPF, WCF, WWF. Okay. Right now, understand that W is window and F is foundation. Okay. Then and there we will see what is that P, what is C, and what is that W. Left side W is window, right side F is foundation. Okay. Next, we'll see how to implement mobile application using .NET Compact framework. Okay. J2ME is there in Java. Here it is .NET Compact framework. Actually, I didn't work in that. First time I'm going to learn with you because this is not there in the earlier syllabus. They introduced it now. I'm using Visual Studio 2012 version, and you are expected to learn .NET Framework 4. Okay, even 5 is there, but you are expected 4.5. Sorry, it's 4.5. You need to learn .NET version 4.5. I am using the Visual Studio version 2012. So if you want, you can install it. It didn't ask any license at all. I have installed it as a free license. I don't know how it's possible. Anyway, because Microsoft products are licensed to one, but I did a online installation. But you need a broadband connection. Otherwise, you cannot install. Then next one is to understand the working of base class library. Base class library is the fundamental of this C sharp. Not only C sharp, for all .NET languages. Okay, base class library is the fundamental for all .NET languages. It may be VB, it may be C sharp, or some other languages. Okay, while I learn C sharp, around 32 languages are supported in .NET framework. Right now, I don't know how many it is. I have to Google it anyway. Time being, uh, you remember that it's 32. Okay, next. Also, we are going to learn .NET 4.5. This is what is mentioned in the syllabus. Then we'll see about XML also. Usage of XML in .NET programming. So C sharp and .NET programming. Why .NET is combined with C sharp? Even though we are having Visual Basic and 30 other languages are there. Why specifically C sharp? Because .NET framework is designed specifically for C sharp language. Okay. Next is after completing this paper, what are the expected outcomes? What you are supposed to do after learning this paper? Okay. You forget about mugging up the things unit wise and writing it in the university exam. That's a different story. But our aim is why we have chosen this particular paper as an elective. You should be able to develop different types of application after completing this course, that is the C Sharp and .NET programming. That is, you should be able to write application, there is console application. You should know how to develop a window application. You should be able to develop a web application. You should be able to develop web service and so on. Also, you have to develop distributed applications. Okay, so you have studied it in theory, right? Distributed systems. So you can develop it as an application using C sharp. Oh, sorry, using .NET framework. Okay, language is C sharp, but the features are available in .NET framework. Uh, Also, you should be able to create mobile applications. So these are all the outcomes. These are all the things that are expected from you. So Priya raising the hand. Why? Yeah, you can unmute yourself. Priya? Priya? So you raise the hand and you are simply sitting quiet, no? What happened? Okay. I assume that she accidentally pressed that raising the hand, right? Okay. So these are the okay, these are the things. Now we'll see the unit-wise content. Unit 1, you will see the fundamentals of the C# language, like data types, control statements, then classes and objects, then inheritance, that is OOPS concepts, right? Then generic generics means generic classes and methods. Generic means function will perform similar task for function will perform a similar task, but the type of data that is going to be passed to that function will be different. First time you may call that function with integer, next time you may call with character, next time you may call with float, and so on. But the behavior of the function is going to be the same, data type is going to be different. Okay, that concept is called as generics. Okay, generic programming. The next one is arrays and tuples, then operators and typecasting. Typecasting means conversion from one type to another. Next is indexers. Indexer, I'll tell you later. Then next is the advanced features in C Sharp. We can create delegates, events. Then we can do the generic programming here. Then collections. Collections means the predefined data structures available in the library, like list, the things that you have studied in Python, right? Tuples, then set, and so on. Everything is there. We'll call it as the collections. Then memory management and pointers. Then exception handling is there. Then another important thing is reflection. You'll be able to get the metadata information in the program you have written with the help of reflection. Okay, you'll be able to get the metadata information. Metadata information in the sense, assume that you have written a C# program. Uh, you can get what are all the types that I have used. What is the signature of the method? Okay, so these are all the things. These are all the metadata, and you can get it with the help of the reflection concept. Next, unit 3. Unit 3, they have given a clumsy of things. They put everything into a single unit. First thing is threads. How to create a thread. Then next you will study about the .NET security. Then we will see about how to manipulate with XML. Then we'll see about registry. As you know that registry is the heart of the Windows operating system. If you make changes in registry, your operating system will not work. Next is the transactions and ADO.NET. That is, you'll be able to create database applications with the help of ADO.NET. Then peer-to-peer networking, building P2P applications. That is nothing but you can create the distributed applications. Next is Windows presentation format, that is WPF. Then in the unit 4, We'll see how to create a window application, like creating calculators, then any application that is hospital management, hotel management. You can also create it as a window application as well as a web application. It depends on the client's requirement. If the application is going to run within a building, you can develop it as a Windows application. If you want your application to run remotely, then you can develop a web application. Okay, we can create web services also. So these are all the things that we are going to cover in the fourth unit. Okay, then in the fifth unit, we will see about the uh, some internal concepts of .NET framework like assemblies, shared assemblies, application domains, then common language runtime (CLR), then XAML, and that I'll discuss it later because certain things are new to me. Then .NET Compact framework. By using this, you can create a mobile application, right? So mobile applications can be managed with the help of .NET Compact framework. Then you can test and I think it is giving the warning for me. 30 minutes is over, I think. Next is developing the mobile application using .NET Compact framework. Okay, so these are all the things that we are going to learn. See, don't get panic by just by seeing the syllabus. Okay, so we are not going to see everything in detail. We are going to see what is what. If there is a word in the syllabus called event, you should know what is event, how to write a simple program using event. If you are seeing this term, that is a .NET Compact framework, it is enough if you know how to write a mobile application. There is no need to write a specific mobile application. If you know the general format, it is enough. We can mark up the things. Even if you go to the industry, you can Google it and you can get the coding. Only thing is, you should be familiar with the software that we are working with. Okay, what are all the various windows available? So hope you are able to see the .NET framework. Okay, so you are able to see the .NET framework. That is a Visual Studio screen. Here, first you will see what is the version that we are using. In background, so many windows are opening. So let me close it. Help about Microsoft Visual Studio. I think it's not visible for you, right? I'll just read it. Microsoft .NET Framework, it's ultimate version is 2012. Okay, so .NET Framework, it is 4.5. Is it 4.5 or something else? It's 4.8. Okay, I don't know whether that version is available or not. Anyway, just check it. Here it is given as 4.8 Microsoft .NET Framework. So in the Visual Studio, we are having several languages. That is C++ is there, C# is there, Then Visual Basic is there. Then other programming languages also there. But we are going to concentrate only on C# language. Okay. As far as database is concerned, you can use any database as you like. But Microsoft suggests SQL Server. Okay. But SQL Server will occupy more space in your system. Though it provides security like Oracle, it is a secured database, but it will take more space. If there is any light version, you can install it. Okay. Then I have already explained what are the different types of application that we can create: console application, window application, and web application. Okay, these are the different types of application that we can create with the uh, .NET framework. So C# is just one of the language in .NET framework, and it is mainly C# is mainly developed for .NET framework. That's why we are learning C# along with the .NET framework, and not any other language. That is VB.NET and so on. Okay. I don't know how much the screen is visible for you, because we don't have the zoom option in the software. I'll try to find a way to increase the size of the window. Maximum I can do this now. But I can do one thing. I can copy and paste the coding in the notepad and I can explain the things. But while executing that application, you have to make the assumption. Oh, this is the, when I say in the coding window, these are the codings there. You have to assume that there is a coding window. And this one is a solution explorer. And this one is a debug window. And this is a properties window. Okay. So this one is property window. This one is a solution explorer window. And this one is a coding window. Okay. Coding window. And this one is the debug window. So we will call the entire thing as integrated development environment. Okay, IDE. We will call the entire thing as a integrated development environment. That is, it consists of the toolbox is there in the left hand side. Okay, toolbox, then code window, debug window, solution explorer. Solution explorer will contain everything about the project. Okay, next is the property. Property, you can get the property of the currently selected control. If it is form, it will show the property of the form. Here I have created the console application, so it is not showing anything in the property. Okay, then menu is there. So menu is there, toolbar is there, menu, menu bar, toolbar, then code window, then solution explorer, then properties, then debug. The entire thing is called as a integrated development environment. Okay, I am going to use Visual Studio 2012. .NET framework is 4.5. So we are going to learn the .NET language C#. So C# is not the only language in .NET framework. We are having VB.NET and so on. Okay, around 32 languages are there. But we are going to learn only C#.NET because it is specifically meant for the .NET framework. So you can unmute yourself if you want. If you want to share anything with me, you can do that because you will get disconnected in other 5 minutes. With that, we will conclude the session. Okay. Yes. Please don't type it in the chat window. You unmute yourself and if you want to share anything. Yes. Anyone? Anyone can unmute yourself. Are you all there? Hello, representative. Are you listening? Please don't waste the time. See, it's only 4 minutes more. People get disconnected. Akash, Maran is there. Maran, is there any problem in the? Are you hearing me? See, here it is. I'm asking you to unmute. Mute all current participants and new participants. No, I have unmuted you. But why it is not working? So you are not able to unmute yourself, right? Host restricted unmute. So I don't know where to go.